Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, big show coming your way tonight. Catch of the week, the snapper are slowly starting to fire and there are some good ones coming through as well. There's plenty of fisheries news and plenty of mailbag. Plus, we hear what independent candidate for the East Gippsland Shire, George Neophytou, has to say about netting in the Gippsland lakes because, he's from Gippsland East. That region. He's standing for Parliament and he's going to say a few things.
Nice, good. Bring it on. It's been a hot topic. I know a lot of people through the shop in the last week or so talking about Gippy Lakes and also boat ramps, Dave. Huge topic.
Trelly, last week we got political. You put your Trump hat on. I did. And we got the political hats out and a lot of great feedback about us and the list we've drawn up. And, you know, it's just been really good that people are starting to listen and see what we're trying to promote.
Well, I think you put the list out. I mean, you obviously got your 10 top points there.
Yeah.
The one side of politics will pick up on certain points and bits and pieces. The other side of politics will probably be a little bit slower to pick up. But eventually we might get some bipartisan views on things and get some stuff across the line so we don't have to bat them around the head with a baseball bat.
I think we've got a slide here with the list that we made. So if you didn't watch last week's show, the Anglers List, we decided to create the list and we're going to tick off as each side of politics. There you go, we finally got it up. We're going to abolish boat ramp fees. We want to do that. We want to create a single boat ramp authority.
Correct.
We want all boat licence and registration fees into a trust account. We want boat ramps funded, marine safety and Coast Guard funded. We want to ban netting in Gippsland Lakes. We want to build a new native fish hatchery. That's been promised by the Andrews government.
Ticked.
And more on that tonight, Charlie, too, because we've got the concept diagram to show everyone tonight.
Excellent.
Not a lot of footy fans are going to be happy with that. We're going to stock 20 million fish over the next 4 years. We want to open Tarago and Devil Bend to fishing from electric powered boats, and we want to stock king prawns into lake tyres.
Yes, we do.
That's what we want to do, and that's the feedback from the anglers are saying that's what we want to do. That's our money.
That's the voice of the recreational angler coming out in that tick box selection.
Absolutely,
it's great.
Yeah, so that's all good. Like I said, after last week's show, one of the independents from down East Gippsland has actually written to us and said, there's a lot of crosses there for Liberal and Labor, but I'm doing something. What about me, the young bloke? You know, the little independent that doesn't get the voice of the Labor and the Liberal. He wants to have his say. So we're going to let him have his say tonight.
In a tight election, these guys can swing the election. I mean, I stood politics in 2010, and if you happen to hold the balance
of power... What party was that? The Trelly Party, was it?
It was a party called Country Alliance that's gone on. We actually... very influential in the Game Management Authority, which is followed up by the Victorian Fishing Authority now. But look, it's some of these independents have a little bit of throw at the moment, so especially in a hung parliament and that type of situation. So good on him for having sticking his hand up.
Folks, let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
And it is all about the snapper, boys. There's been some fantastic snapper caught this week, and I've got to say, there's still few and far between. People are saying, oh, the snapper are going off and everyone's catching them. They're not. But I tell you what, there's a lot of lucky people that are. So
there's some good fish amongst them too.
Let's have a look at the first one. Phil Jordan, he got a snapper off P2, which is up the top end of Port Phillip Bay. Getting a little bit warmer up there, and that's a lovely looking snapper.
Good on you, Phil, like your style.
See those big ones up that top end?
Yeah, they'll fly first.
Plenty of reports at Laverton. Charlie?
Yeah, we're getting a few reports in there. But probably not so much as the week before. But we've had a bit of a blow during the week, so that'll calm and also stir things up, as we all know. Down here, some good. Looking good.
Now, Charlie, you know I always have trouble with the surnames of a lot of people. What we might do is take it in turns tonight. All right, so I'll do the next one because it's pretty hard, but I'll make it be the hardest one. So, no, the next one, Frank I. He got a snapper from Black Rock.
He got more than
Got a
one.
handful.
More than one snapper. He got a few. Yeah, he's got 4.
Look at
that. Well done to Frank.
Yeah.
That's a great sesh for this time of year. How good's that?
Look at that.
Look at the calm conditions in the background. And it's daylight.
That's right. He's got his mask on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not only the boys that are getting to the snapper, it's also the girls. Anastasia and Adriana. Have a look at these. Couple of beautiful snapper from Altona.
Cracking
Very
fish. Good
nice
job,
fish.
girls.
Yeah.
Love that.
Top end's firing, boys.
It is.
is.
It's just about there. It's happening.
Many reports, and we just
Great photo,
can't
girls.
cover them all, but lots of those land-based from the Newport area. As
Yes.
well. The warmies.
The warmies.
You just can't show them every week because there's so many getting sent in. Trolley, over to you for the next one.
Pepe Sotile.
Oh, come on, put that
Ooh.
Italian accent on.
Pepe Sotile.
That's better. What a beautiful calamari from Queenscliff. I
That's
couldn't
it.
catch him a couple of weeks ago and
That's
copped
a
a bit
big
of
squid.
mailbag for that, I can tell you.
And
But
rightly
Pepe,
so.
what a fantastic calamari from Queenscliff.
Some big calamari rings on that bad boy.
The kids are doing well, I can tell you, because have a look at this one. I'll take this one,
He's
Trolley.
actually a chest plate, Pepe.
I can say the next one, Max Murphy.
Oh,
Hey?
Max.
There you got
Oh.
a beautiful little snapper from Eagle Rock, which
Good
was
job,
a
Maxie. Yep.
hot spot from last week.
Correct.
Boys, so obviously someone's listening to
Good
us.
snap,
God
Max.
knows why.
Lovely.
Anyway. John, a relative of John Dukes.
I was going to
John
say,
Dirks.
yeah, don't get
John
it confused
Dirks.
with the great
John
man.
Dukes, the man who does our voiceovers, but John Dirks. Have a
How
look
big?
at this.
How big is it?
8.1 kilos.
That's a
0.1.
good snapper.
That's a ripper.
Of silver leaves. How good's that?
Yeah, that's going in the bucket. By look at that gaff
Yeah.
through it. Yeah.
Now, that's
Oh, this one blows me away,
No,
Dave.
no.
I don't know if I can believe this one.
a man who's only just started writing into the show, but he was writing
Yeah.
into us 20 years ago when we did community radio.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this, because this man could only catch a brim and a perch a few years ago.
This is the great
and
man
he's
of Gippsland himself.
He has got the taste for calamari,
That's
Brett
it.
Geddes.
He's traded the vibes and the bet me nose for a squid jig, and look at what happened. You're a champion, Brett.
What I wonder is, does Brett make his own squid jigs? Because he used to make all his own lures.
I have to be sure.
And do you know Brett hasn't aged one bit in 20 years?
Yeah, he's the man that ages backwards.
He does.
That does that when you have a beard.
Yeah. Well, he's looking good. And lucky last, catch of the week, Aaron Burgess. Have a look at the brim from Bem River. You were there the other
My
week.
favourite place ever. Yeah, was there the other week. Got some good brim. That river is just going off.
Nice
Yeah.
fish.
Going right off, Dave. I'd go that far.
Would you? Well, let's
So
see
he's
later on
playing
the
the
program.
guitar.
I'll get another mention. You never know. If you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au.
Yeah, I wanna go fishing.
And it is this time of year where we must apologise because the amount of photos sent in.
Yeah,
we
so that's
cannot
getting
cover everyone.
Yeah.
And, like 8 tonight. Sometimes we try and cover 10, but
Yeah.
we cannot cover them all. Plenty of freshwater too, Trelly.
Lots going on.
Yellow belly firing all right?
Yeah, yellow belly. They're going
it's
okay.
close, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going okay. We need a couple of more degrees. It's a bit like the bay. You need a little bit more temperature.
Yep.
Everyone's catching a few yellow belly, but they're catching a lot of cod because they're still going. Obviously, letting them release them and bits and pieces, and some big carp around the Golden Valley area and that up there. Yeah.
I reckon you'll have a 30 degrees in the next 7 days.
You reckon?
Shepparton. Oh, yeah. I
Really?
think almost every day bar one's in the 20s for the next week, and I think you'll get a 30 up at Shepparton. So,
Well, it's not uncommon.
yeah,
Yeah, we
that'll
had a
heat things
ship
up.
It will, yeah. And like I say, we get that temperature. We get that temperature in the water up just that little bit.
Yeah.
Everything will start getting going.
So what sort of
Yeah.
water temperature are you looking for the yellows? I mean, we always speak
Yeah.
about the magical sort of 17 degrees, 18 degrees in the bay for the
Yeah.
snapper.
Yeah, it's about 2 degrees above what it is now. Yeah.
Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah. So, no, we've actually had some environmental flows and some inter-valley transfers in the last month. And
Some what?
Inter-valley transfers. That's when
Sounds a bit technical.
South Australia draw water, so it comes from the Murray system or the Goulburn system. So they actually transfer on paper draws from down South Australia. It's a little bit complicated, and it's actually working against it. And I'll probably bring it up in shows to come, but it's a big bugbear as far as downstream with the nut farms buying water and transferring it down, because we've had 3 gig of water go past ship in the last 12 months, and that's the most we've had probably in the last 20 years. What's the effect is the water temperature is 4 degrees lower on average. I'll get this wrong, but I'm pretty close. We don't see all the local sandbars. They're not out of the water. Haven't been out of the water for ages. You can't fish those areas, and it's all water going down the system. So and it upsets the breeding of the fish, the natural breeding of the fish. Yeah, bit of a on my soapbox right now, but that needs to change a little bit. So we'll be on our hind legs as far as a bit of a protest there.
No, I think it's fair to say, because there's been quite a few complaints about the Goulburn being unfishable because it's so high now.
Exactly.
Because of the water coming down.
Exactly.
So there you go. Coming up next, fisheries news. There's plenty to talk about next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. Plenty of news, but just before we do that, Lloyd on our Facebook page is saying, what do we think about AGL? I think we've covered it enough. We had the Minister here, Lloyd, actually making a statement about it. It's now up for EES, and we've just got to wait for that process to follow. It's 12 to 18 months. We're not going to comment on it every week for the next 12 to 18 months. So thank you, Lloyd, but we've covered it enough. Let's get on to it. The headline a couple of weeks ago, Jala made the announcement on the show, a new native fishery, a new native fish hatchery, for Shepparton area, Trelly.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big announcement. $7 million, and it is something that Victoria just needs. Now, we've got a concept diagram that's now been released, and I think we'll put that up on the screen now. Have a look at this.
Yes. This is, I probably didn't show enough emotion when Jal was on, but this is
we didn't know about the
exciting.
announcement, so yeah.
That's right. No, it's very, very exciting. And Jal was up last Thursday with the fish release into the Victoria Lake in Shepparton. Yeah. But this is great news, and like we said on the other show, this will set this up for the next 100 years as far as fish hatcheries, because as you know, David, Snobs has been going for 70.
Yeah. And it's at its capacity.
That's right.
I just got one question, because have a look at that diagram, and it shows you exactly where everything is.
That's the end of Wanganui Road.
Yeah. Why are they moving the MCG to Shepparton?
Well, is that the MCG in the bottom left-hand corner?
Because I thought it was doing pretty good where it is.
So is that
that big?
Is that saying that that's the size of the MCG, and that the rest of the fish hatchery is going to be that big compared to the MCG?
Oh, I get it.
That big a project.
You thought they'd move the MCG. Right. That'd probably suit Collingwood, actually, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of Collingwood supporters
most
around
of
the
them
north end of Shepparton.
Most of them on free train travel. They'd be able to get up to Shepparton or go to the grand final then,
on
wouldn't
a family ticket.
Hey, they could. All 8 of them, or 10 of them, or whatever.
That's it. But no, very big news. 80 hectares on the old Skull. That's 200 acres. Yeah. It's coming up this one here. Huge, 20 jobs. The guys down there fishing in the river will be able to catch a fish and say, hey, this comes from up just over the bank and it's been grown over there or produced over there.
Yeah. So fantastic. All right, number 2, it is time for all the fishing comps to start hitting our calendars. And number 1 on the agenda is the Peninsula Snapper Challenge, boys. Some great prizes, $20,000 in prizes. 1 in 5 entrants will win a prize. Every junior entrant wins a Wilson rod and reel, which is pretty damn good. Yep. And the difference is this year, boys, that this comp runs for 9 days.
Yeah, and I think if it's not already, it's very quickly becoming the premier snapper comp for us down this neck of the woods. It's getting bigger and bigger, and obviously compensate for weather. It's now a 9-day comp, so everyone's got a fair crack at winning all those beautiful prizes.
Just sort of taken over from the Tea Tree.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This is the event to fish. If you used to fish the Tea Tree, this is the one. And have a look, $2,500 in a Tackle World shopping spree. You can get a Hummingbird marine electronics package, BLA anchor winch. There's all those things. It's pretty good.
6 packs of hooks.
And the thing is, you're right, Ads. People used to be worried about this comp. Is the weather going to be right? Because it used to only run Friday, Saturday.
Saturday, that's it, yep.
Yeah.
Now, you've got the whole Melbourne Cup weekend.
That's right.
And the whole of the following week.
And
the whole of the following weekend.
Yeah, so
and the presentation on the
so
Sunday.
you can get your weather windows in there.
Got to get a good day of that.
red hot crack. No more to have to worry about maybe sketchy conditions to try and get a good fish. You can plan your trip and off you go.
The other thing in their media release, technology assists in keeping the Peninsula Snapper Challenge sustainable as you enter your captured snapper using a mobile phone photo of your fish and the daily code word placed on a measuring device sent to challenge headquarters.
There you go.
So they're using some really good technology, and we've seen that technology. Remember we fished that brim comp up on the Gold Coast a couple of months ago where your whole catch was done via an app. Send a photo to the app, live scoreboards.
Live update.
The Peninsula Snapper Challenge has adopted similar technology,
It's
so it's
all
all electronic, and
That's pretty cool.
it's so good.
Yep.
Is the code word going to be like Rumpelstiltskin for one day?
What?
Might
The
be.
code word. You said code word again?
I don't know what the
Let's
code
make
word
it
You can have some
But
fun with the code words.
I can also say that if you want to enter the comp, you can enter at Launching Way in Patterson River, which is Trevor and Lynette, Tackleworld Cranbourne and Mornington, and Kringle Optical in Frankston. So there you go. Peninsula Snapper Challenge.
Yeah,
boys.
write that one down. That's going to be a cracker.
9 days.
Or peninsulaSnapperChallenge.com.au. I think, was it .com? .com. There you go. All right, number 3. The headline is Supreme Court halts commercial scallop expansion. How good is this, boys? Because this has been a little bit of a nasty one, just lingering in the background for the last couple of weeks. The Supreme Court has rejected a challenge from the Port Phillip Bay commercial scallop industry to have the 60-tonne permanent catch cap removed so the industry could massively expand. This commercial cap was put in place by the Minister for Agriculture to ensure a viable boutique commercial dive scallop fishery in the bay. It was never intended to re-establish a large-scale industrial fishery.
Which we got rid of.
The state government will ensure large-scale industrial scallop fishing does not return to Port Phillip Bay, and Jala Pulford has welcomed the decision by the Supreme Court. So well done. That's a great decision.
That's a good one.
A win for the recreational
That was a
anglers.
loophole that they actually found because it was meant to have been to a boutique fishery, and it was a loophole found, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was only meant to be 12 tonne.
So the government
They're
had
damn
to go
lucky
and
they're getting
probably-
60 tonne.
Yeah, so the government have gone and spent probably tens of thousands of dollars to get the Supreme Court to come back and put a cap on it.
Well, wouldn't they have
loophole.
recovered the costs from the bloke who took them to court?
Well,
They didn't take it to court. Is that how it works
it
or not?
shouldn't have got there, really. Yeah. Anyway,
No.
it's good to see the end of it.
Yeah,
Good
well,
outcome.
The only thing is, two letters, mate, for the loophole. Peter Walsh. That's all I'll say. It's poor politics when that was introduced. All right, let's have a look at this one because this is a great news story. Lake Purrumbete fishing pontoon is complete. We believe fishing is for everyone, says the VFA, which is why we're stoked. We are stoked to announce the completion of an all-abilities fishing pontoon at Lake Purrumbete. So wheelchairs, anyone with a disability can get out on this. Thanks to a $100,000 grant from Target 1 Million, this 70-metre fishing pontoon will help anglers wet a line easily in year-round fishing at this beautiful hotspot.
Fair old pontoon, isn't it?
Absolutely. The project's completion was perfectly timed for Gone Fishing Day last weekend, and the Lake Purrumbete Angling Club christened the pontoon with a Come Try Fishing event last Sunday. How good is that?
Very nice.
Now, I saw some close-ups as well. We didn't put every photo up, but that is, from a design point of view, the bee's knees.
It is, yeah.
Awesome. The bee's
And
knees.
I think it's, I'll get it wrong, but is it Mark down there? Daryl from Rapala's cousins down there who helped out Gacky's night with with Rex Hunt and that. He's got the store down there and it's stocked. If you go down there and you're missing some stuff, go to the little store there at the end of that jetty. They've got some great. He knows that whole little area. It's
unreal.
Go and see him down there.
Good setup.
Probably the best pontoon, I think, in Victoria.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Good,
Very
very
good.
Yeah.
Yep. Alrighty. Charlie, I don't know what your old man's. No.
But he's rolling his grapes.
No, I don't know who he's. Well, I don't know. No. I was just going to say I don't know what your old man's passed on to you. Right. But
here we go.
He's obviously passed around to a few mates as well. All right. So, and I think your old man, who I know he only passed away about a month ago, he'd probably be pretty proud of this one. Sprung is the headline. 12 unattended bait nets is 10 too many. Thanks to a call.
Having a bait net.
It's pretty tame, yeah.
Thanks to a call to 13 Fish, fisheries officers located 12 unattended bait traps in the Yarra River near Templestowe. So he's obviously got some mates in Templestowe, your old man. No, I'm not saying
they're legal bait.
Either that or it's Travis Dowling's old man, because Travis is like Dowling's old man will do this too. The traps were baited with chicken and contained freshwater shrimp. Later that day, a 48-year-old man from Box Hill attended the site to retrieve the nets, where our fisheries officers were waiting for him. It's going to get better. We're going to come back to this.
It's only an overnet.
Officers allegedly found he'd also taken more than the catch limit of freshwater shrimp, which is half a litre per person. The bait nets were seized and the man will receive a $483 infringement notice as well as an official warning. For exceeding the catch limit of freshwater shrimp by a small quantity. A maximum of 2 bait traps are able to be used in Victoria inland waters. And remember, if you see or suspect illegal fishing activity, please call 13Fish and make the call and make a difference. Now, can I just go back to that last slide, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm just going to say.
There's something your old man didn't pass on, right? Can we get the last slide up, maybe? No. There you go. The hint is, don't use fluoro rope if you're going to tie your illegal net. There's one orange and one yellow. That may as well be. You're going to do an armed robbery in the dark, but wearing your fluoros.
Or your company logo. but at least he wasn't using illegal equipment. He just had too many of it, which is it's not acceptable, but it's not illegal.
They're unattended as well. He went home and cooked dinner for the family. Then come back. So, but seriously, I mean, your old man would have used camo rope, wouldn't he?
Oh, he would have tied it under the water too. Sorry.
Coming up next, product of the week, and we're going to talk about what George Neophytou has got to say about the Gippsland Lakes right after this on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking Fishing.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. Now a special brand has hit our shelves that has never ever been seen anywhere in the world.
Yes, that's
tell us
right.
about it.
We've been waiting for this for a long time. Now there's a little bit of a story here. We're of course introducing real brand clothing, which, like I mentioned, we've been waiting for a long time now. There's a little bit of a group involved, and 2 of those members are Paul Worsing from iFish TV and Patrick Dangerfield from the Geelong Football Club. And basically they wanted to create a brand of clothing that suited everyone, that gave a shout out to the fishing and the water sports industry. Their slogan is Athletes of the Sea. Now the concept behind this is regardless of who you are, where you're from, what you look like, what you're good at or what you're not good at, everyone is an athlete of the sea.
That's it.
So as long as you're out there having a crack, catching a fish, doing whatever you want to do on the water, you're an athlete of the sea. The most exciting concept about this is it is for everybody. So the concept is, it is a good quality pair of clothing that you'll ever buy in your life, and on average, it is 20% cheaper than its nearest competitor. So you can put it up there in quality to all your big brands. It's affordable, and long term, the concept is that proceeds from buying this clothing actually gets put back into the fishing industry to help recreational fishers. So as an example, in the Tiwi Islands, they are training young Aboriginal kids to become fishing guides. That is something that the people behind the real brand would love to get involved in. So that from people buying this gear, they would like to get it to a point where some of that money can be put into projects like that to help keep recreational fishing as strong as it's ever been and grow into the future. So, very, very modern day designs.
All night, by the way.
That's right. Charlie's got the long sleeve real brand tee. It's awesome stuff. That is full. Dave, you have a go at that. That is one of a couple shirts.
But have a look at the back. Have a look at that.
UPF 50 plus rated. So full sun smart shirt. Very, very up-to-date and modern logos, branding, but not so crazy that you're just appealing to, say, the younger guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyone can wear that. There's long sleeve tees like my
That's
man
it.
Trelly here is holding. Have a look at that one there. Hold that up. That is a cool Marlin logo right there. Grey shirt. There's hoodies. These hoodies, Dave, I just want you to quickly, before we have a good look at the logo there, just flip that inside out. I know we're coming into summer.
What do you mean inside out?
No, have a look inside. Have a look inside.
No, inside.
The quality of that and how
the
thick it
fleece.
is. I know we're coming into summer right now, but we are still going to get some cool days.
Yeah.
It's still quite fresh in the morning to get out there for those snapper.
It was 6 degrees last that day.
No more of this rugging up with 5 shirts and 2 hoodies and a jacket.
Just get a real brand hoodie.
You can wear that hoodie.
Look at that.
Be warm as toast.
And on the back. It's even got it on the back.
That's right. So there's heaps of stuff. There's caps, there's head buffs.
It's even got it on both sides.
That's it. there's hoodies, shirts, long sleeve sub shirts. There's beanies, the whole kit and caboodle. You'll only find this stuff at Tackle World.
Yep.
Come in and have a look. Check out the quality. You'll save $1 compared to its big brand competitors, and you'll also be looking after fishing in the future.
This is going to take fishermen by storm.
It is. It's a great concept. A lot of thought's gone behind it. It's not just throwing out another clothing brand on the market. A lot of thought with support for fishing.
Yep.
And everybody, regardless of what you do and who you are, everybody is an athlete of the sea.
And for those people who wear those big loud jackets, big loud shirts with all the supplements, look like a parrot. This type of stuff, you can put that on. You can wear that down the pub, after a fishing session or out to
and not look out of place. So congratulations to everyone involved in the conception of Real Brand. It's a cracker, and pop into your local tackle and have a look, because it is exceptional gear.
Excellent, nice,
and it's for a great cause. So well done to everyone involved.
I reckon when you talk about athletes of the sea and winners, like people are going to look winners in the stuff.
Exactly.
I reckon even Lino and Crouchy will be onto this tomorrow. And by tomorrow night they'll be wearing the gear and they will be winners. Lino and Crouchy, if you're watching.
Athletes of the sea.
Are we allowed to? Lino and Crouchy.
Leany
and Crouchy.
Leany
and Crouchy.
Concession ticket approved to get over here.
Getting told to get them off the counter. So
there you go. That's the Real Brand, and that is awesome gear.
That is good gear. Got a hat?
Yeah, a couple of hats over there. We might even put on. Don't worry about it.
Forgot to show them?
No, they're over there. But I ran out. Yeah, we might put the Real Brand caps on rather than the political caps.
Well, sorry, but we are going to cross over to politics. And after last week's show, we got political, boys, and we talked about the list, the anglers list. And someone was watching from down in the Gippsland Lakes. His name is George Neophytou, and George is the independent candidate for the Legislative Assembly Gippsland East District. There you go, I got that right. Stuffed it up in the intro, but anyway. George has written to us, and George says, "Dear David, I'd like to talk to you about the political comment you made on the show. I watched your program of the 9th of October. I liked the anglers list, given we're coming up to the Victorian state election in late November of this year. Of particular interest was an item on your list, ban netting in Gippsland lakes. I was surprised that you and the panel said we haven't heard from anyone on this. Nothing. Zilch." And that's correct, because nobody from the two major parties has come out and said a thing about this. Sadly, it appears the major parties do not seem to care about the well-being of the Gippsland Lakes. As an independent candidate for Gippsland East, I am advocating the proactive protection of the Gippsland Lakes with monitoring and management by a single overriding entity. The major tourist destination is under threat and has been in decline for decades, boys. A strategy to rehabilitate the lakes and fish stocks is well overdue, including the necessity to stop commercial netting. There are an abundance of reports spanning decades, but sadly, no real commitment or action has been taken. It is somehow lost on government that we have a unique series of connected inland lakes, being an area 6.4 times that of Sydney Harbour. As your panel pointed out, the issues are many and now complicated. The drastic dredging of the mouth of the lakes is changing the ecological system of a marine environment. For whatever reason, the governments of yesteryears appear to be pursuing this outcome, and it is changing the whole nature of the unique, original, natural freshwater system. It goes on to say by George, in relation to the remaining commercial netting licences, there needs to be a pause in large-scale netting so that fish stocks can be rehabilitated. Fish stocks are low and many species are critically in danger. I would pursue the proper compensation for the surrender of licences by the current operators. I hope you can advise your viewers that I'm fighting to restore our lakes so that it is a chosen destination with plentiful fish for anglers and their families. Well, I'll tell you what, I take my political hat off to George because he's a bloke. He's happy to fix it.
There's a lot of information that can come out of that, what you just said there, because there's science within the science. Now, the science is who conducts the science and who wants the conclusion. The science and its conclusion. Do you aim the science to get a conclusion? I think you aim the science to get a result or to get an understanding. Yeah. Whereas a lot of science isn't done that way. It's good to get a conclusion, which is really good. Another thing is like you got your history, which we followed up on the last few weeks as far as that area. So that's a big part of it. But congratulations to George for putting his hand up.
Thanks, George. Yeah, George. I'll tell you what. If I was down there, I'd think about voting for him because he's willing to put his hand up, and we're not hearing anything from the major political parties about Gippsland Lakes. But the Gippsland Lakes, like we have said all along, is a complicated system.
It is.
There's a complicated solution to fix it.
Yep.
And it ain't going to be easy. But George, good on you. You've put up your hand and said you're willing to help.
Keep an eye on George.
Yeah. Well, there's a big rally down there on November the 4th, the Sunday of the Melbourne Cup weekend. Yep. I'll be emceeing the stage.
Nice.
And hopefully we have all political parties putting their
cap on.
Cap on. Putting their thoughts into action and telling everyone what they're going to commit to if they are re-elected. So anyway, a very big reminder to people, I know we haven't mentioned it that much, but Mates Day on the Bay is on this Sunday, 21st of October. We always need more boats, so if you've forgotten about the event, haven't received the email, please talk to Leonard Hogan down at Patterson Lakes boat launching facility down there. It starts at 7 o'clock in the morning this Sunday. For boat owners, participants arrive at 8, they go fishing till 12. We have a barbecue lunch on from 12 to 1:30. And can I just say, if you want to pop down and have a look at Mates Day, it'll be a great event. Come down and enjoy a free barbecue if you like. The other thing I've got to say, boys, is I know there's been a fair campaign against the netters, and there is one guy who's still out there. He nets all our bait species. His name is Phil McAdam. He's from Vancouver Fisheries. And Phil, I know, the recreational anglers and the commercial anglers have not seen eye to eye. And Phil's still in the game. He's one of the guys that hasn't handed in his licence yet. But Phil has been kind enough to donate all the bait to Mates Day.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's good on him.
Can I just say a sincere thanks to Phil McAdam. It makes a difference to all the participants. It makes a difference to the boat owners. It's fantastically admired by the Future Fish Foundation, and I say sincerely, Phil, thank you for your donation of baits for this Sunday at Mates Day.
Phil.
There you go.
Well
Excellent.
done.
Coming up next, Kramer's mailbag. Plenty to talk about. There's so many mailbags to get through. See you soon on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing. Every day's a chance to drift away.
Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
All right, a bit of mailbag to get through, boys. We'll get straight into it, all right?
Get on.
You're going to love this one, Charlie. Hi, Kramer and the boys. I just watched the 8th episode of this series on the 18th of September. I was away on a P&O cruise. Are the P&O cruises still going?
I feel like, they're big time now.
Are they? All right, Love Boat, I think. So I didn't get to watch it. I just would like to say thanks to Trelly for getting my name right. This is from Luciano.
Oh, correction. I did the correction the week after. You come and said something stupid.
I should like to say thanks to Trelly for getting my name right. I can say don't feel bad about not pronouncing my name right, Kramer.
Luciano.
There has been many people who've pronounced it the way you did. I love the show. Keep up the great work, all of you, and I'll keep sending my catch of the week as Lou Sipri from Luciano.
Okay.
Luciano or Luciano? What did I say?
Yeah, it's Lou now, so it's all corrected. Thank you very much.
All right, Ian, he writes, David, last week, during a safety check by the water police, it was discovered that my boat was out of rego, something I'd overlooked. However, the real shock was when I received the infringement notice.
Ooh, golly.
In the mail, 806
Wow.
What the?
Really?
Yeah. Driving an unregistered motor vehicle attracts the same fine. However, third-party insurance is attached to motor vehicle registration, so the risk is higher. Therefore, I feel the fine is excessive for failing to maintain a record of my name against a vessel. Wow. This is a timely reminder to check your rego before hitting the water. Thanks from Ian. Thank you very much.
Wow. Golly.
Yeah. This one here from Richard. Richard writes, Kramer, it's about time you and Ringy got into the mood at the bar. I love the show, and Trelly, look at this. And Trelly has hold of his stubby most of the time.
I'm sorry,
because he lives that way 24/7. Do you actually sleep with a stub in your hand?
Oh, yeah, it's a bit hard on the head, but
this is what it says. Trelly has hold of his stubby most of the time. I can tell you the other time he's holding something else. And he looks like he has been there all afternoon. Keep up the great work from Richard.
Oh, you're a legendary.
We get some crap sent to us, don't we?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, Gary writes, Kramer and boys, love your show, and now that I have a new boat, I'm looking forward to a great season over here on the bay. Just a couple of things. When I was registering the new boat and trailer, I saw a mate at Vic Roads, and and as we were talking all things fishing and boating, he mentioned a trip to Portsea in his boat with a mate and the kids to have lunch. Fisheries pulled him up. Every year he buys a fishing licence, but he hadn't yet because he had a fishing rod in the boat and he was fined $255.
Ooh.
He had no tackle and no bait and no intention to fish. Is this correct?
Well, it's probably, if you take the letter of the law, it's probably correct. But I mean, these guys are empowered with decisions, aren't they?
Yep.
So,
can I say something,
decision?
I've been advocating for a long, long time, right? That a fishing licence should be a fishing licence, like your car licence and your boat licence.
Yeah.
You should have to renew it. You shouldn't have to buy a new one. And there's a difference because if you just got a renewal, you'd pay it on the day it's due, and it's a continuation licence.
I understand.
What we have now is a 1-year licence or a 3-year licence or a whatever licence, and it actually ends at the end of that.
Right.
Whereas a car licence doesn't. A car licence goes all your life unless you lose it, but you renew it, and that's what I'm advocating. And this wouldn't happen. Now, this guy went on to say, "What? Gary from Mount Eliza, and if it is let it be a lesson to the others, whatever that. Now, last week, there's a more important. I don't censor these before I print them on the printer.
Yeah, read this one.
Now, last week we saw Adam showing plastics with a close-up. What is the tattoo on his chest? Is it a Tackle World logo? No, don't reveal it.
They don't pay me enough for that.
I'll tell you what it is. It's a portrait of Paul Worsling, isn't it? Give us a look. No, have you got... Come on.
I'm not taking my shirt off now.
Have you got a portrait of... You love Paul, right?
Yeah, I've got a portrait of him on my
Have you got a portrait of Paul Worsling on your chest? You haven't?
Get on Facebook and write in what you think it is. And it's not a portrait of Paul Worsling.
Let's run a competition.
And it's not... We've said it on the show before what it is.
All right.
Yeah.
We have.
And?
I'm sure Charlie has. There's a little teaser.
I know what it is. I'm not going to say right now unless someone pushes me. But, if you're wearing that, or Dave, you guys aren't allowed in the pool in Japan. I was.
No, we're not.
I wasn't allowed in it. I wasn't allowed in the pool in Japan.
If you're in Japan and you've got a tattoo, motel, you're not allowed in the pool. I was allowed in the pool. These guys got kicked out.
So it's not Paul Worsling and it's not a Tackle World logo.
They did say my bottom half of my torso was allowed in, but the top half was knackered. Alrighty, next one. Jesus, this is long.
That's an epic one.
I'll try and get through it. I don't know how long we've got to go before the break, but anyway. No, this is from Gordon. It's pretty serious. Dear Dave, my name is Gordon, and I'm sending you this email in the hope that you can help me with my dilemma. This is a dilemma. I have a holiday house at McLaughlin Beach down in Gippsland, which is a very nice and almost pristine part of a great country. McLaughlin's Beach is on an inlet that holds, among other species, pippies.
Oh, yeah.
My concern is that the inlet is quite fragile and it is at risk of being severely damaged by people who are collecting pippies in very large groups. I've witnessed carloads descend on the inlet in groups of up to 20 who work this area from about the second half of the falling tide to the middle of the run-up tide. Don't get me wrong, I'm not racist and would be sending you this email if any group were doing this. But the area that they target used to have quite extensive areas of very healthy seagrass, which are a holding area nursery for numerous crustaceans, invertebrates, not to mention small fish and the like. These grass banks have been turned from healthy grass-covered banks to mud banks, where very little grass remains. It goes on. Just to put this collecting into perspective, if each of these people collect and took the maximum legal limit of 100 pippies or 1 kilogram of flesh, that's 2,000 pippies or 20 kilograms of flesh per day. In the summer, they're in the area there most weekends. So over a 1 month period, if they only collected on 1 day per weekend, they have the potential to remove 8,000 pippies or 80 kilos of flesh.
These aren't the natural predator to a pufferfish, are they? These people?
I've heard it all.
Keep going.
No, that's enough. I share your concern, Gordon.
Very quickly,
I might take that up with Travis.
Very quickly before I know, is there...
I've got a sneeze coming up, boys. Last week I sneezed. There's bloody dust in this studio, and I've got a sneeze coming up. I'm sorry.
We'll take it on that.
Is there an illegal way to take a pippi? Like, as in, you can't get in there with a rake, can you?
What?
You know,
no, you've got to dig it by hand or feet, I think.
Yeah. That's what I thought. But
or you can't take your bobcat down there, probably.
Well...
gold mining or something like that. So
if you're one of those new shows that pop up.
I've got 3 more.
Pippi mining,
We've run out of time.
Any good ones?
You got the sneeze there?
Some bloke wants a kayak show.
Put your finger on
Charlie and I might have the week off and let Adam do a kayak show. I don't want to do that, but anyway.
I'll host a.
You can host the show.
I'll host a Kramer's mailbag at one point this season. So send in all your kayak questions.
I'll
hold them, and these boys can spectate. And I'll get a bit.
He wants hot spots for kayaks. He wants product of the week kayaks and that. Yeah. Charlie, why don't we do that Cup weekend? You and I'll go to the races. If you'd like to write into Kramer's mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
And coming up, fisheries hotspots, not one spot, accessible by a kayak. See you soon on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worslam's Tackle World Cranbourne. Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start. I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for.
Hotspots, brought to you by Seamaster Batteries.
And the all-important
get the pen and paper out.
Now, have you seen what the weather's going to be like on the weekend? Like glass.
Ooh. Glass.
Mate's Day for once. In 20-something years. No, we've had one or
couple of good ones.
Mate's Day this Sunday is glass. There's going to be a lot of people out fishing. So
sounds good.
Let's give them some snapper spots. Now, in 17 metres off Sandringham, if you attempt to paddle out there by kayak, you'll probably die.
You'll probably become a speed bump.
So, if you want to get out there on your own boat, get out there to Sandringham. 17 metres, the snapper are going off.
Ooh,
no,
big call. Going off.
That's a big call.
Big call. Anyway.
Now, well, over your side of the neck of the woods.
Oh, Clifton Springs.
Trellies in Geelong.
Yep.
Clifton Springs. I got that out of your report.
It is.
That some magnificent snapper are being caught out in the channel.
There has.
Trelly
Yep.
of Clifton Springs are some magnificent snapper, up to 7 kilos. I'm reading.
Good fish.
Been some good, and we've had a bit of a blow during the week, which should settle again in the next week.
Yep.
Which will bring on even more snapper, and that's just not that just area, but all over.
Yeah.
Yep. Great.
Over in Western Port, some cracking snapper are coming from the Silverleaves area, as we saw in Catch of the Week ads.
Yep.
But many people heading to Silverleaves now.
Yeah, it's always a bit exciting when Silverleaf starts a fire because it means snapper season's right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. They're all swimming past on the way to the next hotspot, which is Coronella. Well, they do. They've kind of got to come in around Phillip Island.
Well, let's face it, Coronella's going to be a staple of the hotspots for the next,
Coronella,
10, 12 weeks.
The boat ramp's going to be pretty ordinary this weekend because every man his dog on Sunday. I can tell you, Sunday's the day. Saturday might blow a little bit earlier on, but steadies overnight. And if you want to go out Saturday night, it'd be quite good fishing into Sunday. And Coronella, Trelly, the boat ramps will just be knackered there.
Knackered.
Yeah.
Knackered.
Yeah. Well, they're just full.
Full.
The car parks are full.
Yep.
And the queue is unbelievable. It's just, I don't know what we do.
More car parks. See the local council, get the Port Authority over the whole lot.
Trevor's got a sus, just send him in.
Yeah.
Next
we need someone to take control.
Send him in.
Anyway.
The next two are kayak friendly. Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
I'd tow a kayak out there and let him go. Right in the middle.
Kayak, but
no, I've got to say that this time of year the water does tend to warm, and even though the next system is not open to the ocean, it does warm. And even they've had a little bit of rain down there in patches, but this system is definitely starting to warm, and the flathead turn on. And now's the time to get down. They get an early season big dusky flathead from Lake Tyers. It is the place to go. People planning to go away on the Melbourne Cup weekend, Lake Tyers is a hot destination.
Yep, and it will start to really get better, and this will feature quite heavily this year, I'm sure of it, with the flatties firing up.
Can I just say the next hotspot, I would say is probably out fishing any of the Gippsland areas. And if people want a fair income fishing experience for bream, for flathead, for trevally, estuary perch, get down to Ben River. I don't know if it's been a hotspot ever before, but Ben River
definitely deserves it at the moment.
Great destination for the Melbourne Cup weekend.
Yep.
Lovely. Is it kayak friendly?
Very kayak friendly.
And you can tow a kayak at 60 kilometres an hour, 60 knots.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned kayaks about
twice in
20 times
two
now.
goes.
No need to do that episode for that bloke, whatever his name was.
No, I'd just like to see you tow a kayak in, like a distressed kayaker in at about 60 knots.
Yeah.
Get it up on a plane.
Either that, or I mean, if you found a distressed kayak at, say, 12 metres off Seaford, would you tow him out to 18?
Don't worry about these haters. Don't worry about these haters.
We're only mucking around. I
bet they're wearing lycra too.
Well, they rode their bike down to their kayak launching area. Anyway,
there we go.
They do get in the way a bit. Now, Patterson River, I don't know if you boys have seen, but the level crossing removal, which is going to be a great outcome for the area of Carrum, because they're removing the level crossing. They're also building a whole new bridge. Well, they've built it over Carrum, but there is still a little bit of work to be done. A little bit of car parks still taken up, and there's a section of the river that's virtually closed off where the barge is working that. So just anyone heading down to Patterson River, just be careful as you're going out, because it will become quite crowded. If you had a boat coming in and coming out, very narrow part of the river going past that barge.
So level crossing on the railway line is going to have a lot to do with it. Level crossing? What's level crossing?
The train line runs across the river. And they're getting rid of it. So there's a lot of work done on Australia. But it's only for another month or so. And it's a classic short-term pain, long-term gain.
Okay,
so,
with you,
And that's the same, I guess, down at Rye. But as we mentioned last week, Rye Boat Ramp had its first concrete pour today. And I only know that because Don Newman, who works for us, now he's 97 years old and he does nothing during the day except watch the webcam down at Rye. No, occasionally
he flicks between Pope's Eye
webcam and the Rye Boat Ramp. Because Don,
and he's working for you now.
He's dead set.
Oh, he works for us every Saturday, but between Sunday and Friday,
he watches the Pope's Eye.
He's a 97-year-old.
He's 97, right? And his TV aerial on his house blew over. So now all he can pick up is the webcams. So he sits at home and he actually spends most of his day texting me about how many concrete trucks have rocked up at Rye.
The old ABC test screen.
He's a wealth of knowledge. The test pad. People used to watch that. But Donnie watches.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Well, no.
Test pattern.
Did you ever have a TV that had V-hold?
Had what?
V-hold.
That's when you had to get up and change the channel.
No, the V-hold was, when the picture used to roll and you have to adjust the thing to make it stop rolling.
Yeah.
Never had that.
Yeah. Ask Don, he'll know.
There you go. No, can I, in all seriousness though, Rye, you got Rye boat ramp.
Yep.
Tyrone won't be opened.
Yep.
Tutgaruk will not be opened.
Yeah.
The Peninsula's stuffed.
Yeah.
Old Tom, he came in to see me today and he said, I can't go fishing. He said, there's a great run of fish off Rosebud and he can't go fishing because there's no boat ramp between Safety Beach and Sorrento that is open and operational. And it's a very, very sad day for the people that manage those boat ramps because no one talks. Three different authorities.
Yeah.
Three different authorities, and none of them care about boating. None of them talk to each other, and that's why we need a single authority.
Yeah.
Get rid of boat launching fees. He said they started charging the fees at Tutgaruk, which I think is the Capel Sound Committee of Management there. They started charging the annual fees, but they didn't dredge, so it's ankle deep at low tide. So they've charged people to launch their boat, but they can't launch their boat.
Where'd the money go?
Into their coffers.
Probably the arts and farty people.
Yeah, exactly. I can tell you what. That's it for Talking Fishing. We hope you enjoyed the show. Next week, it is our 4th birthday. Would you believe we've been going for 4 years? Unbelievable. We're going to have a few games and celebrate that milestone next week. For those of you participating in Future Fish Foundation's Mates Day on the Bay this Sunday, you have a great weather forecast, as does everyone who wants to go out and wet a line this weekend. Until we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, boys. Please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
I will in my kayak.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.